Welcome to the Game News Show. This week, we're talking about Pokemon stuff, mostly. Microsoft and Nintendo have entered into an odd agreement that shouldn't surprise anyone, but it's still weird. And some brief notes about PSVR 2. Let's hop into the Game News. Welcome in. I am like really far. Okay, I need to scoot over. There we go. Ha! I fixed it. You not trust me? I trust you. Anyway, thanks, chat, for totally distracting me. Let's get to the thing. So first up, we've got a Pokemon Presents was announced today on February 27th at early o'clock in the morning. I don't know if we'll do a live reaction to that. That's 8 my time, I believe. It's 6 a.m. Pacific time. They have a 15-second teaser, which I've got shown in the little thing there. I'm not playing it. Well, I might put it on the overlay. It's 15 seconds long. Curiously, it plays the Gen 1 Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow opening music. And that's about it. It's like 15 seconds. So some things that we can expect. Some Pokemon Go updates. Likely some notes on the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet update to fix things or add, well, they didn't really add functionality. They tweaked some functionality. We'll get to that stuff in a minute. They might do some DLC announcements. A lot of people are hoping for that. I think the biggest things are going to be Pokemon Stadium on N64 and Nintendo Switch Online. That is a mouthful. Pokemon Stadium on Switch, and then Gen 1 games on Switch as well. So Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow on the Game Boy service. I think those are the most likely things we're going to see, along with a potential for Scarlet and Violet DLC or new raids, and then some big Pokemon Go updates. We'll probably see some Pokemon Unite news, maybe a new character tease. I don't know for sure, but I'm willing to bet the best announcement is going to be classic Pokemon games coming to Switch. That just seems the most likely. Anyway, so yeah, we may do a react stream to it. We might not. I don't know yet. So moving on to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, they released a patch notes for a patch that's upcoming, targeting the end of this month. That would mean literally a few days from now, next week sometime. They address some of the crashes and glitches, feature changes, optimizing the way some of the menus work and flow. It's a long list of notes that we can talk about at some point, but I'm not going to cover that here because that's not the purpose of this show. Maybe we can do a separate video going into detail once the patch is out, seeing what was actually changed. The biggest thing to note from the patch notes, though, is that their solution to a lot of performance issues, it seems, is, or at least addressing crashes and weird behavior during battles, is to remove the number of people and Pokemon that appear on screen in certain areas. Makes sense. I don't think that's a good solution. I think that focus more on optimization, and maybe you could leave that number up. You might have to still tweak it in the end. Who knows, though? And then there's some other stuff they said that they will note when the patch drops, and to go back to the support page on Nintendo's website to get more info. Makes sense to me, I guess. But they're going to be, I don't know. I made a video when they first announced that this patch was coming, that this wasn't going to be the patch that everybody wants it to be. And that's just because of the words that they use to describe things. And then this one, I'm still thinking, yes, crashes were the priority. And that's what we should expect. And I think that's okay. I think that's perfectly fine. Okay, so let's talk about, switching gears, Nintendo and Microsoft. Specifically Xbox. So Microsoft entered into a 10-year agreement with Nintendo regarding Call of Duty. I have the big text for it here. We can look at it. This was tweeted out by Brad Smith of Microsoft Xbox. He's a higher up guy. So it says Microsoft and Nintendo now have negotiated and signed a binding 10-year legal agreement to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo players the same day as Xbox, with full feature and content parity, so they can experience Call of Duty just as Xbox and PlayStation gamers enjoy Call of Duty. We are committed to providing long-term equal access to Call of Duty to other gaming platforms, bringing more choice to more players and more competition to the gaming market. Okay, that's great. It sounds awesome. I am fully in favor of these things because it makes a lot of sense. If Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard King is approved, more like when it's approved, this was a big concession to make. So it makes sense that they would at least offer this up. They have the same deal offered for Sony. My big takeaway though is, does this mean other Microsoft titles could be brought to Switch? I think it's likely. We've already seen Microsoft games on Switch. Ori and the Blind Forest, the Banjo-Kazooie games on NSO. Not that those were Microsoft originally, but, you know, the GoldenEye deal that was worked out with Rare. Minecraft, you know, like, we've seen games from Microsoft on Switch, and that's fine. But it's going to be interesting. One thing I didn't add that I wanted to add is Microsoft also announced that their PC lineup will be going to NVIDIA's GeForce Cloud streaming. I forgot what it's called. GeForce Now. That's what it'll be. And so in that case, that means, you know, that Microsoft's in full like concession mode on this, making deals to make sure that the, you know, anti-competitiveness of them buying Activision isn't as bad. I don't think it's bad to begin with, and these concessions, I mean, ultimately benefits us, the gamers, but this one is my favorite thing, though, because it means that the Switch will finally have a Call of Duty game again, which means that more people can play Call of Duty, which means more people supporting it. I'm not the biggest fan of Call of Duty, but I do like to hop in and play every once in a while. And I just like more options for more people. You know, I think the last Call of Duty game on a Nintendo console was a Black Ops title on the Wii or the Wii U. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, so it's pretty cool. I'm glad they're doing that. So let's move on to the next thing. PSVR 2 is out this week, and if you're getting it, cool. Reviews look really good, and I like VR. I don't really like playing VR because the few times I've experienced it, it didn't leave me motion sick. It's hard to describe. I should make a separate video on it. But it's such a cool concept, and the early reviews on this, early, you know, reactions to people that have gotten review units and unboxed them and everything it's pretty legit. The tech they put in it is awesome. It seems like finally a solution for VR that doesn't require a super fancy PC to run. Not that the original PSVR wasn't that, but this is that, but better. So I'm actually thrilled and excited to see that play out in a good way. We'll see what games are coming, what they're like. One of the big problems I have with VR, and it's getting better, is a lot of games just feel like tech demos and experiences and not full games. But they look to be fixing that. The Horizon game is probably the best part of that. I think it's going to be awesome. Half-Life Alyx on older VR stuff was good. And so, we're starting to see more games in the VR space that are full-on storytelling games and not just first-person interactive experiences. And then, I don't know. It's going to be cool. Anyway, the last thing we're going to talk about tonight. I saw a trailer for a Tetris movie coming to Apple TV. If you subscribe to Apple TV, you get to watch this movie. The trailer was weird. It's rated R, not a family event. I know I'm a family-friendly streamer. Don't take your kids to watch this. Don't sit down in your living room with the children to watch this. But it's not what I thought a Tetris movie would be. I didn't know what to expect, though. It's more of a overly dramatic. What word am I thinking of here? Anyway, biopic. Just the story of how Tetris was brought to the West and freed from the Russian grip of control. I don't know what I'm saying, but that's totally. It's a movie, and you should go watch the trailer. Like I said, just watch it with headphones on if the kids are in the room. But that does it for this week's Game News Show. Thanks for hanging out. If you're watching us live on YouTube or Twitch, we're about to play some Halo Infinite with my wife. We're going to co-op it up again. If you're watching this after it's been posted, thanks for checking it out. Thanks for subscribing. Leave a like and let me know in the comments if you're excited about anything that I talked about, but mostly Pokemon news, because that's what we talked about the most. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.